All right, welcome everyone. We'll get started here in just a minute or two. Right now, we're just letting a few more people get logged on. This is actually a really cool webinar we're hosting today on SMS marketing, and want to make sure everybody who can get on, who wants to get on, will be able to. So if you'll bear with me, we'll get started here in just a minute. All right. I do see that we do have a few more people coming on. So let's go ahead and get rolling. A couple of logistics to start. I will send you a link to a recording of this presentation, so there's no need to take intense notes. Secondly, we are going to cover a lot of material today, and we're going to move pretty fast, so I highly recommend that you put all of your focus on this webinar. I do know how easy it is to multitask when you're on the computer, but I'm a firm believer that single tasking is the best way to really learn something in a short period of time. Also, if you do have any questions, please just chat them into the box below the presentation, and I will address as many as I'm able to at the end. If I don't get to your specific question, not to worry, someone from my team or I personally will follow up with you to make sure your question gets answered. So now, let's dive into the subject at hand, text message marketing. Throughout this presentation, you'll hear me use the term text message and SMS. And just so we're clear, for the purposes of this presentation, these terms mean exactly the same thing. So, can anyone argue with this statement? Sure, you might silence your ringer at dinner or let a call go to voicemail once in a while, but no one ignores their phone. Not for long, anyway. Which is why this marketing medium is so incredibly effective. Our phones are almost literally extensions of our bodies. Who knows, in the future, maybe there won't even be a dividing line. That's actually a pretty scary thought, but not altogether unlikely, is it? Anyway, my point is our phones are with us all the time, and we're as responsive to them as a mother and her newborn baby. Okay, so now I want to dive right into the meat of this presentation. I'm going to run through a list of reasons, about 14 of them, why your business should strongly consider mobile marketing. Some will focus on general benefits, while others will focus on the features and use cases that make text message marketing so darn cool. Okay, on to the first and probably most important reason. Text message marketing is relevant. 87% of Americans have cell phones, and 73% say it's their most used form of technology. Think about that. More than computers, more than television, more than a stereo, that's pretty remarkable for such a new technology. In fact, Americans have adopted cell phones faster than any other household appliance. And that's why I included the word revolution in the title of this presentation. Everything about the rise of mobile phones has been revolutionary in terms of speed and scope. The next reason, open rates. Consumers have an amazingly high level of engagement when it comes to messages sent to their phones. How amazing? As you can see, 97% of all text messages are opened by recipients, and almost all of them are read within minutes. That is astounding. That's amazing. Consider that. According to a 2010 study by MailChimp, a popular email marketing software vendor, the highest open rates for email peak at about 30%. Average open rates for email in general are closer to 20%, well below SMS open rates. So did you know that 72% of the 320 billion emails sent on a daily basis are spam? You probably did. It's crazy, but most of us, when we look at our overcrowded inbox, this stat doesn't seem so outlandish. The world is absolutely drowning in email. I've yet to meet a single person who's ever complained about not getting enough email. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that email isn't effective. It certainly is. And I do recommend that every business develop and maintain a robust email marketing program. but it's becoming much harder to stand out in people's inbox, and buyers have gotten really good at filtering and tuning out promotional messages. Not so with SMS. Since this is such a fresh and new channel, it is that much more potent and effective. The high open rates associated with SMS text message campaigns are all the proof you need. Again, I don't want to suggest that you abandon your email efforts and put all of your energy into text message campaigns. Email is still important. A better approach would be to diversify your promotional efforts to include email and SMS. Now that may seem like a lot of extra work, but it's the cost of doing business in a competitive marketplace in which buyer attention is scarce and increasingly fragmented. The other benefit of SMS marketing that you might not have known is that it's affordable, and getting more so each day. Take a look at the marketplace for SMS campaign software. You see new entrants all the time, and prices for these tools are plummeting as the market continues to grow and mature. In fact, I've seen entry-level SMS software packages for as low as $25 per month. What's more, these new tools make it easier than ever to deploy campaigns that run automatically while you focus on running your business. You don't have to have a PhD or any coding skills to launch a text message campaign. Setup is as easy as creating a free email account. The possibilities for SMS are still being explored. But one great feature of text message marketing that has emerged recently is the ability to send appointment reminders. Some early studies have shown that this can cut the amount of no-shows in half. Those of you who run service-oriented businesses know how big a deal this is from a money-saving standpoint. We're talking major savings, money that can be funneled into your business's products, employees, and marketing efforts. It sounds crazy, but even churches are using SMS to increase engagement and drive up attendance on Sunday morning. And here's another unique thing about text message marketing. Because people retain their phone numbers, you can be more confident in your ability to build a lasting relationship. Roughly 35% of email addresses change on a yearly basis. But with number portability, i.e. the ability to take a number from carrier to carrier, people are ditching their home phones and keeping their cell phone numbers for life. Let's consider the ramifications of this trend. For one thing, that means you don't have to waste time and money sending messages to a zombie email account that hasn't been accessed in years. The quote on the following slide add more perspective to this. Having your customer's phone number is like having your customer's IP address. It's really quite true, although I think you could go even further. Think about the important numbers we have associated with our identity. What are they? How about these? You got your social security number, your driver's license number, bank account number, street address, and you guessed it, your cell phone number. An email address is virtual and impermanent. A cell phone number, however, is something that identifies a person in both a virtual and physical sense, and it's immediate. I mean, here's something to think about. If you have a pet, say a dog, for example, you don't put your email address on its collar in case it gets lost. You don't necessarily put your street address either. You put your cell phone number on it because that's the most direct and immediate way to get in touch with you. This all may seem like abstract and sort of fluffy idea, but when you really think about it and consider the implication, it's pretty powerful. Okay, let's come down a bit from the abstract for a moment and talk about a very specific, empirically proven reason to use text message marketing: coupons. You can send coupon-based campaigns to drive repeat business, to help spread the word about a new product or service, to piggyback on an event or season, to reward your most loyal customers, and the list goes on and on. And get this, according to a 2010 study commissioned by Burrell Associates, mobile coupons are 10 times more likely to be redeemed than traditional coupons. 10 times. That's pretty remarkable, is it not? A lot of people think coupons are old-fashioned, but the data says otherwise. The other great thing about coupons is you can determine return on investment instantly. You can see how much revenue is generated thanks to a particular coupon, or find out the percentage of sales growth thanks to a certain campaign. which brings up one of the very best things about SMS in general. You can track it. No more guesswork, no more blind faith. Most, if not all, SMS tools give you detailed insight into how your customers are responding to your messages. You can see who is opening your text messages and look at their responses. You can see which are the most receptive to your campaigns so that you can identify any potential carriers that are blocking your messages. And you can see who's dropped off your list. Since it's so easy to measure the results of your SMS campaigns, that means you can always improve the cost efficiency of your marketing, which ultimately means you can lower the cost of acquiring new customers. According to research from ReturnPath, 20% of permission-based email is still not making it to the inbox, with 3% of it going to the junk or bulk folder, and another 16% just goes missing. It vanishes into the ether. I say this not to bag on email, but to draw a contrast with text message marketing, which has virtually no deliverability issues. Every message, with only a few rare exceptions, gets delivered to the recipient, making it the de facto certified mail of digital communications. The result of this is that every message you send has the chance to convert, i.e., has the chance to do its job. As I mentioned earlier, the potential applications of text message marketing are still being explored, and it seems that the only limit is our imagination. Recently, businesses and marketers have embraced voting and contests as a way to engage buyers in a fun way that builds goodwill and raises customer awareness. You see very similar approaches in social media. Contests are great ways to build rapport with your audience while also subtly marketing your products and services. Makers of SMS marketing software have noticed the increasing popularity of SMS contests, and several have developed easy-to-use tools that allow businesses to launch keyword contests and polls with very little effort. Chances are pretty good that you've seen a keyword short code campaign on a billboard or in the daily paper, or maybe on a menu in a restaurant. On this slide, you'll see a couple of examples. The top one isn't real, but it's a reference to a certain popular song from the 1980s. So let's look at the two components of this kind of campaign, which has proven very effective. Keywords are what consumers text to a short code to join your SMS marketing list. A keyword is a single word, usually ranging from a couple of letters to a dozen. Keywords can be longer depending on the SMS marketing service provider your business uses, but you want to keep things concise for your customers. On this slide, the keywords are Jenny and Spine. Short codes are 5 or 6-digit phone numbers that can send and receive text messages. Short codes work on all major wireless carriers and dozens of smaller ones too. Once you have your keyword and short code, then put it everywhere potential subscribers can see it. In your direct mail campaigns, on your business card, on Twitter and Facebook and your website, on flyers and table tents, on menus and stickers and print ads in your e-newsletter and blog, on a billboard or a brochure, in your car, wherever, anywhere, everywhere that somebody might be able to see your name and your brand is where you want to have your keyword and short code. Mobile greetings. This is another way that businesses are leveraging SMS marketing to great success. Sending a greeting or birthday card may seem like an innocuous thing that would not have much of an impact. But in my experience, every business that takes the time to send mobile greetings is invariably impressed with the results. It's a simple gesture that goes super far in building loyalty, maintaining top-of-mind awareness, and encouraging repeat business in a low-key way. And since most software vendors allow for very granular list segmenting, you can really get creative. For example, you can segment your campaigns by implementing targets such as males ages 21 to 34 or New York females to narrow your reach and hit only those selected subscribers. So earlier we talked about how cell phones straddle the virtual and physical worlds. The ability to send geo-targeted coupons, i.e. coupons that deploy only when the recipient is in a designated geographic radius, is a great example of this. Imagine you're the owner of a pizza joint. you could send out a special offer for a large pizza that would reach only the people who are in your area searching for a lunch spot. That's really amazing. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this incredible benefit of text message marketing: automation, the ability to deploy campaigns with minimal, if any, effort. This is definitely one of the most appealing things about SMS. Most SMS platforms allow you to set up autoresponders so that you can respond to potential customers without lifting a finger. For example, let's say you're a local property manager and you want to be able to quickly field inquiries about available rentals. You could pick the keyword rent, and every time someone texts this keyword to your shortcode, you could automatically and instantly respond to that person with your available properties. So okay, we've just been through over a dozen or so benefits and features that comprise text message marketing. This is just an abridged list, but it's enough, I hope, to give you a glimpse of how powerful this channel could be for your business. Now, let's transition a bit and address some of the common questions that businesses and marketers have when it comes to SMS. Okay, the first one is text message marketing even legal? Well, yes, of course, I wouldn't be telling you about it otherwise. Text message marketing, when done ethically and within the law, is strictly opt-in and permission-based. That's not to say that there aren't abusers out there, however. Text message spam is a violation of the FCC's Telephone Consumer Protection Act and carries steep fines, as much as $500 per text message. Not only that, but wireless carriers will quickly pull the plug on suspected spammers. That's why getting permission and consistently providing value is so important in SMS marketing. Next question, do I need text message marketing software? Short answer, yes. There are a lot of great vendors out there, and as I mentioned earlier, new ones are cropping up every day, pushing costs down for businesses and marketers. And here's another important question. How do I not come across as spammy? Well, it is a bit of a paradox. What makes SMS such a powerful channel is also what makes it such a delicate one. You have to be smart and strategic about how you use text message marketing. After all, when people give you their phone number, they're putting their trust in you. They're giving you pretty direct access. So I think it's really important to start by giving your customers something and consistently providing value thereafter. If you look at the available data, most people opt out of promotional messages because the messages weren't relevant to them or the frequency was too high. If you want to maintain a lasting relationship and cultivate loyalty, you have to be generous with your offers and thoughtful with your campaigns. SMS is really more about long-term relationship building than the quick hit. SMS can be incredibly lucrative. We wouldn't be talking about it otherwise, but things can backfire if you get greedy with it. Lastly, the Mobile Marketing Association offers these best practices, and I strongly recommend that every business follow them to a T. And that means stating specifically what the subscriber is opting into. For example, to receive our weekly specials and alerts. Stating upfront that messaging and data rates may apply. And providing a resource for help, such as a website or phone number where subscribers can reference all terms and conditions must be included in the advertisement. Providing instructions on opting out of the SMS campaign, i.e. to opt out text to stop, are also vital. How often can you send messages? Well, that actually really depends. But there are two general guidelines to follow when planning how often to send SMS campaigns to your subscribers. One is each SMS campaign valuable. Each SMS campaign you send must be seen as valuable. If the campaign isn't of value, subscribers will be more likely to leave your campaign. Two, can a subscriber buy that often? If subscribers are only likely to make a purchase from you once a month, it will be overkill to send them an SMS campaign every week. Look at the frequency of your customer visits and use that as a guideline for how often you send your SMS campaigns. Additionally, it's always a good idea to be clear up front about how frequently you plan to send messages. You never want your audience to feel overwhelmed or surprised at the frequency of your messages. Okay, next question. What else do I need to know to be successful? To reiterate, SMS is about building relationships over time. It's not about the quick hit. It's about being creative, showing some generosity, providing value, and being restrained and strategic. And while SMS isn't difficult necessarily, I highly suggest that you approach it with care and thought before you send your first campaign. So okay folks, thanks for your patience and attention. We are heading into the home stretch here. Before I open up for questions, I just want to reiterate that SMS is an incredible way to reach your market and engage your customers, and to stay on top of their minds and encourage repeat business. And with mobile phone ownership at an all-time high, you can be sure that text message marketing is here to stay, and it will only grow in importance in the coming years. I strongly believe that now is the best time to get involved and capitalize on this trend. And if you ever need any help making SMS work for your business, please don't hesitate to contact us. So now let's go ahead and open it up to some questions. It does look like we have a few in the queue. So the first one is, this one's from Robert. What kind of industries are having success with text message marketing? That's actually a really good question. There are actually a bunch of different ones, and really a few of them might surprise you. From off the top of your head, you're always going to run into restaurants and bars and nightclubs. Those are the first ones that always seem to be the most obvious choices to use text message marketing. Restaurants, like we gave the pizza owner the idea that if you can reach people in your like your really close proximity to your restaurant, that's just going to be a really good way to reach somebody right at the right time. They're looking for either your restaurant or something like your restaurant. You know, same is true, like we said, with churches. You know, looking for people, looking for ways to get their congregation to show up on Sunday mornings. So those are the first that come to mind. You know, it's all across the gamut, really. You know, nonprofit organizations and spas, lawyers, a lot of professional services, insurance agents come to mind. Like, I think that would be a great opportunity. Realtors, and it really does just kind of go on, and there's no reason that it should be limited to one industry or against another. I think there's always opportunity if you're creative enough and have the know-how to find your target market, that really it would work for basically any industry around. And then we have this one from Barbara. How can I integrate SMS marketing with my traditional marketing efforts? How can I integrate SMS marketing with my traditional marketing efforts? That's just an awesome question. That is exactly the type of questions we're looking for. SMS definitely works best when it's used in concert with other efforts. Like we showed, the data out there is that people are more likely to buy when they get messages from multiple channels. If it's all about recognition, name recognition or brand recognition, that they're seeing the same information over and over and over again in different places. And those are the ones who are definitely the most likely to buy. So the way we look at it is kind of looking at it as a multi-prong marketing plan. Not just an isolated thing. Don't just send out a text message here and an email over there and write about a blog over here. That you really want to be strategic in the ways that you're reaching out to your people. Basically, I tell businesses just to think about the resources they already have at their disposal. Make sure you're using your social media. All of the, tons of these opportunities are low cost or no cost. Google plus local, Facebook, Twitter, social media, SMS marketing, these types of things, email marketing, are going to be the ways to be able to reach your customers time and again at very low cost. And, along with other types of traditional marketing efforts, direct mail, it's all this multi-pronged attack that will allow you to get the most bang for your buck. But you have to be strategic about it. You can't, like I said, you can't just do something here and do something there. Plan when you're going to be creating an offer. Plan the perfect time to do it. Go through why it would be a good idea to send against other times and stuff like that. And so when all is said and done, it's just a good idea to make sure you're tackling as many of these methods as you can to make sure that you're always in front of your marketing audience, and that you're always doing everything you can to inform them of what you're selling and give them the best opportunity and to see the type of value that you're giving. And I do know I actually kind of went a little bit longer than I had wanted, so I'm going to go ahead. I know that there are a number of questions that we're not going to be able to get to, but like I said, go ahead and contact us at the numbers and emails that we've provided, and let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks so much again for joining us today. Again, if you would ever like any assistance in putting these tips and strategies into action, we're always here to help, and we'd love to hear from you. So please get in touch. Take care, and thanks again.